Hey there, chart friends. Chart friends? Chart friends. Lamont from Chart Guys, here to do your regular solar sector coverage. My apologies for not putting out any videos in the last couple of days. I have had a lot of microphone issues. One day I recorded 40 minutes, two different videos of just silence. And then apparently the next day the audio was also not good. Not good enough for the quality that Chart Guys Jason demands. So we'll start it off with the ETF for the sector. It's TAN, and I'm on the way too macro time frame, just looking at some charts. And so it's almost kind of good that I missed you guys on this day, missed you friends on this day, because it was a bit of a fake out. It looked like a daily reversal candle had printed. However, you have to zoom in on these days to get a real look at the smaller time frame action, right? Because even though that was a reversal candle, you can see on this day we actually held the hourly higher lows, right? So all we did was just put in a healthy higher low, and then the bulls showed right back up the next day, actually in the PM session. So as you can see, since then we've had one more day of continuation, and now today it's looking a lot more convincing today, at least compared to this day, for at least some temporary consolidation. So TAN got the hourly trend change today, and even on any bounce here, we are still looking for that next hourly lower high, which potentially was set already in after hours, extended hours. Obviously, we'll put more weight to the price action that occurs during regular trading hours. Just zooming out for a second. Just want to see if there is a trend line potentially. Okay, so this trend line is potentially coming into play right now. But yeah, TAN relatively healthy, I guess. Consolidation for now. Ideally, the bulls will hold above the previous tops over here. And then if you look at that on the daily time frame, then basically we'll be looking out for a potential bull flag. So the ideal situation for bulls now is a lack of follow through on the hourly trend change, and then we'll come back and test these levels potentially, let the EMAs catch up, and then potentially carry us to new highs. But I think it's a bit to ask for more of this sector, but anything can happen. Keep our minds open to anything. So what the bears want to see now is a follow through of the break. A break and follow through of the 74.23 level. And if we looked on the 5-minute going into the end of the day, the bulls did change the trend, the 5-minute trend going back into the end of the day. So that hourly low is set, and it is not, I guess it's not that close for a double bottom. Either way, looks like bulls are trying to hold this level, which would be just amazing if if they could. ORA is holding up a lot better than these high flyer, the all-time high runners. And I mentioned this in the previous video. It's due to the fact that it has a very different monthly chart. If you look on the monthly chart for the TAN ETF, it has all this previous price action. It looks a lot like FSLR and I think ENPH. No, and I think I forget, maybe JKS. Either way, ORA is a bit different in the sense that it has had this basing, but it's above a bunch of previous tops that are very meaningful. So basically what you had here, just a quick recap, if we had this huge rounded bottom, broke above this key level of resistance, came back tested successfully, pulled away, and then failed the next back test, but then held in very tight consolidation right under the resistance and then broke back above. And now we're retesting it as support, and this time it's looking like it's much stronger support, because you see we tested it once and there was a nice strong bounce, and then we tested it again, broke to a lower low, but with no follow through, again straight into a big bounce. So we're just maintaining over this large volatility box over the previous one, right? So we're just in this kind of chop zone. So I would anticipate that the market would bounce around in this box quite a little bit more before potentially testing the upper range and then maybe even marking up. Now on the daily time frame, we're just looking for that daily higher low, which really is not presenting itself right now, because on the hourly time frame, the hourly trend is not even in question. Maybe you could say it's looking like it's starting to round, but it's just floating above this 12 EMA. So I mean, bulls still very, very healthy on ORA. Let's see. That being said, this move up is not very impulsive. When you see moves that go in I guess what I should say is when you are trading directionally, you want to be with these kinds of impulsive moves, and this looks very corrective. But that being said, bull's still very healthy on the hourly time frame. In order for this hourly lower high to potentially be set, we'd have to see a lower high and then break to lower lows, which is potentially happening actually. Let's see here. Not really. So no, not really. We'll have to see how we open tomorrow. Just be mindful of the 5-minute trend change back to the bears to potentially set an hourly lower high if we were to break to hourly lower lows by losing the 69.30 support, then that daily high would likely be set. I'm going to be looking for some daily consolidation with anything over, gosh, I would I guess anything over 54.05. There's another higher low here, but I don't really love these. They're not very meaningful pivots. I really doubt it comes back to test these levels, but whatever the case may be, anything over that would be a higher low. If anything, I feel like it would be more reasonable to start looking where these tops form. So maybe just putting in a bunch of these levels here. Just being mindful of all those tops. Oops. And then maybe just taking a look at where hourly oversold conditions would be. And again, there's no sign yet of hourly consolidation, but once we begin, we can see that the hourly would get oversold around here somewhere. So it would be below those tops. So maybe just patience on ORA until we can find a little bit more clarity. All right, for JKS. So JKS has been kind of interesting. It faked me out the other day because on the market-wide dump day, it had the biggest drop from its high. And I made a play off this lower high. I took a little bit of profit off, and then the next day I got stopped out pretty much immediately. So no big deal. Today was I repositioned, and well, I'll get to that later. And so then after that, next day, you can see that it ripped even higher than many of our other names, going like 20%. Whereas TAN on that day, let's see, did 4%, right? Or let's see from the low, 7%, right? So JKS bit of a fake out, or at least it faked me out. My goodness, this solar sector is crazy. Well, it's only 2.52 billion market cap, so I guess that makes sense. Anyway, today it showed a lot of volatility again, with a big old drop, a big bounce to new highs to break the PM high, and then a huge move down with an hourly lower high. Definitely the most likely scenario tomorrow still. Going into the 5-minute time frame, the bulls definitely did change the trend going back into the end of the day. So you could say this was an hourly higher low. So we're probably in an EQ situation. We're looking to set potentially a lower high against this top of 59.62, and then maybe just keep tightening up. Is likely something like that. All right, CSIQ. CSIQ is kind of interesting. It had this really great channel that it was playing. It was great to play off of. There you go. And if you guys don't know, when you use TradingView, this is a really great function on the bottom right here. The object tree, you can like just bring up all these things and hide them, even the candles themselves. Okay, so CSIQ was respecting this channel for quite a while, quite a long time, and now it has clearly broken out from, below it, and you have lost the 12 and 26 EMA support. That's this blue and white line here. Just use it as visual guides in TCG very often, and you got a nice clean back test off of that channel as well before a rejection. And if you're a TD trader, you can see that this hourly TD support that was printing up for this entire leg up has now been compromised. It's actually one of my favorite plays. If you break the TD support and you get a little bit of follow through, then you can fish a lower high, in this situation, using the 12 and 26 EMAs as a guide, but also using like the Fibonacci as well. So like, let's just say you did it from here. You can just like highlight the 3 zones that encompass the 12 and 26 EMA. I like to be conservative, so for me it would probably be these 3 if price were to come up from here, although I'd like to see more follow through on it. And then I just use these 3 fib levels as a scale, and I stop out at the next one. It's been rather effective. Obviously there's more nuances, and context is always important. Anyway, so that was the biggest deal in CSIQ for me, the fact that we broke out of this channel that has been holding for this entire move up. We have broken the low of yesterday. The hourly trend has changed, so we're pretty confident that that daily top is in, and we'll just be looking for a daily higher low above. Oops, that's not it. Above, all the way down here at 28.70. Very, very healthy chart. Let's see what it would look like down here if we were testing this previous top on the hourly time frame regarding the RSI. So this is a setup that I like. Our CSIQ is going to be hourly oversold where that previous top was, where this little congestion area was. We had three back tests here that held. The pivot for the week is here as well. Is that correct? Yes, the pivot for the week is here as well. So this is a very interesting trade zone for me. So I would be interested maybe in something like this. All right. And whenever I set something up on the smaller time frame, I just want to zoom out too. Right, so we're just going to be looking for a daily lower high probably, right? So just want to zoom out and see if that looks like something reasonable at all, and I feel like that is. If price were to come down here, break this 12 EMA support, wick down, maybe test this pivot, get close to it at least, 10 to 26 EMA, test this area as well. Yeah, if price were to come straight down, this is a very interesting trade for me. All right, so that's CSIQ, and on the 5-minute time frame, we did get a trend change back to the bulls at the end of the day, so we could say this hourly high is set. So potentially the bulls can be changing the trend, right? So if tomorrow the bulls show up again, and they hold this low and they break that high, we'll have an hourly trend change, and then it's just back to ripping, I guess, if they can pull it off. But I mean, it looks very volume climaxy on a lot of names, especially TAN. This is like a pretty volume climaxy look, especially with this big, almost Maribozu candle. All right, so let's see, SEDG. So this is my short candidate. I just picked it because it had the heaviest, the biggest move down. It fell the quickest, and the most. I believe it was 10%. And so yeah, so I just actually I did that play that I was talking about. I can show you guys right now. It broke this 15-minute TD support that had been printing up for quite a long time. It has been pretty reliable, and if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. But I thought it was a decent place to give it a stab, and so all I did was I just pulled my fibs like that, and I took account for where the 12 and 26 EMA would be on the bounce, and so I just used these three levels, the 382 and the 50 and the golden, and of course I only got that one fill, but it went right to target, the 0.236. It went right to target. So that's nice. You chop it up the position, swing the rest, and you just walk it down on hourly lower highs, right? So that's pretty much what I did on SEDG today. And I still like it the best. The only thing that I don't like in regards to this being my short candidate is that they held this top, right? It just bloop, right. I always tell people to look left, right? They held this top, so of course we can just set a lower high and break it, but I don't love that. I wish we could have broken it and maybe like chopped about in here and some like bear flaggy business or something. That would have been a lot better for me. And the 5-minute time frame, the 5-minute trend did change back to the bulls, so we can say this hourly low is likely set. So just looking for that lower high now against, I don't know why that label is so far away, but it's, I believe, 277.94. No, it's not. It is 368. That's weird. Does this happen to you guys? Okay, yeah. For run. So Run is the weakest name. I actually didn't notice this. I didn't know about this name until today. Somebody shared it in the chat room. I don't have that much history with the sector. I only have it with BEP and SEDG. I actually have those. I was just talking to somebody about him. Well, whatever. Maybe if I can pull it up later. But the reason why I was interested in the space is because I'm fortunate enough to contribute to the swing report, and for 1 week, weeks ago in September, I think they were not September, in August. I think they were I submitted them. I don't even know if they made it into the issue, but that was my first foray. And they both exceeded my target. Like they hit the target and then just kept going. So I've just been waiting to potentially get back into space, and I feel like consolidation is approaching, and so here we are. You know what? Let me just show you guys. Okay, here we go. So BEP, here's where my trade back in. Oh, that was August. This time is like so confusing these days. Yeah, I was just looking for that higher low for this channel to play out, and I probably still have it up. Let's see. No, that's the short. Well, okay, I guess not. Oh well. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, I was interested at 43.50 and it just blew through. I was just looking to get to 50. So let's see, that was back here, 43.50. I was here. And then it just blew through 50. And so here I am, just trying to get back in now on some daily higher lows. And I think I grabbed SEDG back in the same day, August 27th, and it was a 176. 176. And let's see what my stop level was, like 158. August 27th. Yeah, so 176 was the average price. So only would have got 2 fills here, and then obviously didn't get stopped out, and it went way beyond, way beyond the target. So yeah, I'm here to cover the space with you guys every day. Hopefully we can get some moves together. Did I cover everything? Did I just start rambling before covering? I didn't finish run. Oh man, okay. So I didn't know run was even in the sector. Today I found out because Chuck Dinsey shared it. And actually it's kind of the lead bear if you think about it, because based on just the price action trends, because it printed this little lower high and then a lower low on the daily time frame, therefore confirming this daily downtrend and putting in, we can be pretty confident that this weekly high has just been set. Especially if you're a TD trader, this is it's a reversal 9 and it's a reversal candle as well. It's not a good look. We got a 9 here and a 9 here, but they weren't reversal candles, and they weren't really at places where you would expect major reversals. But now this is a completely different story. So yeah, I will be interested in run, especially. I don't know if there are shares to short it because BEP doesn't, which I found out today. But yeah, so the hourly trend is very, very strong for the bears right now. We will just be looking for an hourly lower high on this name compared to 79.60, and who knows, it might, well, I shouldn't say that. On the 5-minute time frame, the bulls did not change the trend going into the end of the day, so definitely one of the weaker names in the sector. All right, 16 minutes. That's not bad. Pretty brief. Okay, I'm done. Have a good night, and I will see you guys again soon.